Namaste Zen, and welcome back, Leo. Welcome to your extended. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being with me. We'll see what this most interesting reading, especially for Leo, has to offer in the clarifications, because it's all about becoming that Mother of Pentacles, like being in touch with your true nature. But that also means accepting the nurturing side of yourself, which is tough because you're coming from an Eight of Cups, right? The Eight of Cups is walking away from shit that doesn't serve you. On the top of it, there is that card of betrayal right there in your soul spot, and that's like, fuck, you gotta deal with those emotions, right? You gotta deal with the mindset, the scars those emotions left in your mind, having to walk away from this. So let's see. The top row is clarified by, on the left side, the Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Five of Swords, which is funny because the Five of Swords is on the other side, balancing it out. So the Five of Swords on the other side is clarified by the Six of Cups, the Ten of Cups in reverse, and the Page of Wands. Alrighty, so there is love there. There is that Ace of Cups. Here the Ace of Cups is in reverse in your challenge row, right? So you kind of lost the belief, or struggling with the belief in love, in emotional depth, overflow, like that emotions are relevant, basically, right? But you're getting there, because the next step is into that Wheel of Fortune, where you're just trusting that things are going to work out, because you see clearly. It's either someone coming in, a Queen of Swords coming in to make you see clearly. That could be it, right? And I kind of get it. I kind of get that this is another person. It could be your own energy. It doesn't actually matter, because like connecting with a person like that is getting you into that energy. So the Queen of Swords energy is about accepting only the truth, right? Looking for that truth. And she's the one tackling that Five of Swords head on, where you realize, okay, some old mindset's got to go, because not believing in love is not an option, right? So the Queen of Swords is kind of protecting this Ace of Cups right here against the Five of Swords energy, in a sense, right? So this could be another person that is just like, yeah, I get that you're hurt, but it doesn't make sense what you say, because love is important, right? She's coming from that person or that energy is coming from a very cognitive standpoint. It's like, okay, shit, I know this doesn't add up right here. I have to do something about this being stuck on my belief systems, right? And on the other hand, we have the Five of Swords. That is that change happening in your belief systems, and it's clarified by a Six of Cups, Ten of Cups in reverse, and a Page of Wands, right? That Page of Wands is fire energy. That is cool. That is maybe someone to connect, but it feels more like you. It feels like it's your energy, and like wanting to reignite the passion. And then looking away, though, from the emotional side of it, right? The emotional side is the Six of Cups right here, wanting to share, remembering how it felt to share, then remembering the pain of not being able to share anymore with that Ten of Cups, with the emotions being rejected from the community or from the company you kept, right? And that Page of Wands with this, okay, fuck that. I'm gonna take my passion elsewhere, right? And looking elsewhere. So this is basically that situation that got you hurt, that you need to get out of. Your idea about people not being worthy to look at them, or not being worthy to share their emotions with, that sense of, it's all good for nothing, why do it anyway, right? And on the other hand, you have the Queen of Swords, that is very much the masculine, on the masculine side, the energy that says, no, it doesn't make sense. You know, love is important. You know, the universe is working for you here. Now go back and revisit that. Revisit that Five of Swords. Balance that shit out, right? That is very freaking interesting. On the top, on the bottom row, on the more manifested side, the Nine of Wands is clarified by a Four of Wands, a Queen of Cups, and a King of Swords. That is interesting. These are very happy cards for clarifying a Nine of Wands. That is very freaking interesting, because the Queen of Cups is a card of love. She's looking towards the Four of Wands, which is a card for marriage, commitment, things coming together. Just that King of Wands, that King of Swords is looking into another direction, right? Which is kind of interesting. Let's see the other side where that passion comes from, so the story kind of adds up. The Ace of Wands is clarified by the Fool, the Chariot, and the Four of Swords. Well, that is an energy of wanting to start anew and being very fucking determined to do so, whatever the fuck it takes. Even with the Four of Swords in the back, because the Four of Swords is an energy of pulling through. It's like, I know, even if it will be hard, I have to go, I have to do this, right? And that is balancing out with this energy on the other side, which is kind of, it feels like a lost, it's not a lost love in a sense. It feels more like one party of the, like that. It feels like this is a married couple, or it doesn't have to be married, but like this is a couple, the Queen and the King, but they're looking away from each other, and the Queen is more on like, why do you want to leave? Like the Four of Wands is right here, and the King of Swords is like, yeah, but I gotta do this, right? I really gotta fucking do this. And like moving away from that situation. Why though? If the energy is so perfect on that side, why are you still in that Nine of Wands? And what were you walking away from right here? Let's see some more cards to clarify that challenge. Around the Mother of Pentacles in the middle, there is that Seven of Wands in reverse, the Eight of Swords in reverse, and the Six of Pentacles. It's a feeling of being needed, wanting to provide, right? Because the Seven of Wands it's about, well, the leap of faith, of going for it. It's a sense of success, of just like fending off everything else and just fucking going for it. And it didn't happen somehow. Somehow that Seven of Wands energy was delayed or not there, or didn't happen. I feel like that. And the Eight of Swords, is the idea of needing it so badly, right? That Six of Pentacles then there is like it's about balance, right? It's about balance, or it can be about imbalance, right? It's like Pentacles is an earth energy. It's about manifesting something in your reality, and also like having that stability, right? Wanting to take that stability to the next level. So it feels like this is you battling with the idea of wanting to be the provider, right? Because there is something very heroic in being the provider, and this is stemming from an Eight of Swords energy, where you think like there's, well, something that keeps you caged, actually, in a sense. Or no, you feel caged in because you can be that provider, because it's not needed or whatever, right? And so this feeling of being trapped is why you still wanna fight, even though it looked so good on paper. You were still walking away from it because you want to feel needed, you want to nourish, right? You want that equal give and take, that provider energy. You want to And you just want to fucking feel your worth, make like, you need a sense of self-worth right here, through being that providing person, through your fire energy and your ideas and all the activities you want to do and whatever, being of value to the significant other, to the people that you're dealing with right here, right? And if this is not a partnership here on the left side with the Queen of Cups and the King of Swords, it's very much you pulling into both directions. So looking back on things working out actually, but then needing something more to make that like really feel good, right? Some insight missing here, something you need to know about yourself. And that's a funny thing, that this Eight of Swords is laying on top of the Eight of Wands, which is also a card of communication and insight. But you feel that impulse of having to start fresh, start new, go a different route, and just see where it leads you. And you don't even exactly know why. That's why this Eight of Swords, this Eight of Wands is in reverse. You cannot really communicate it, because you, up until that point, didn't know what was wrong, really. You just felt like you were needed, and that is a very fucking bad experience, especially for a Leo, for anyone, but especially for a Leo, right? So moving upwards towards enlightenment, there's a Temperance angel, a Ten of Swords in reverse, the Temperance also in reverse, the Ten of Swords in reverse, and the Justice in reverse. This is you getting out of your head about stuff, right? Then realizing that's not always fair, right? And also you feel like you're not fair to them, in a sense, if you just take off like that. But then again, you don't see that it's healing, and probably healing for the both, or for all of you, right? Because Temperance is always like, okay, every person participating in this gets his share or her share of healing, right? And the Temperance angel is looking towards all the good cards up here with this Ace of Cups, right? So it is about emotional fulfillment, and not exactly only about the Four of Wands, which is stability, right? That you very much love. There's a Queen of Cups. This is a beautiful card for love, also for romantic love, but it seems like there's two hearts in your chest, and you've been walking away from something that seemed good, at least to the people around, but it actually didn't make you feel that good because something was missing. And you got to realize what was missing is the feeling of you being nourishing to other people, being appreciated for what you try to initiate, that you want to be inspiring, right? That you want this, that you want your energy to really move something right here. Then again, there's a lot of swords, right? There's a lot of swords. So these make me think that this journey is more for you to realize that, yeah, you want to be nourishing, but you are way more than you realize. You are like, your entire presence is already nourishing people. Your energy is already nourishing people. And just because, like, sometimes you might be pushing too hard, whatever, right? Because you, like, actively want to feel like there's some give and take, but for the people involved, sometimes it already is, right? It already is a give and take because they enjoy your company, right? However, you have the feeling of needing to move away from this, of going onto a different journey. There is an impulse that you can't withstand. That's the Fool, with the clarifying the Ace of Wands, and the Chariot clarifying the Ace of Wands. So you got to move on from this. Whatever it is you're moving away from, you got to move on from this. And it's so funny and kind of irritating that it looks so stable, like in the left corner here, where the wounded warrior is coming from a Four of Cups, from from party girl right here. The Queen of Cups and the Four of Wands could be that party girl. My girl wants to party all the time, party. Something like, it doesn't have to be a girl. Queen of Wands is just like, it's a receptive water energy, one that just flows away, right? And just, yeah, goes with the flow, right? Just going with the flow is a problem for someone that wants to make plans and want to stick to that plans, which is the King of Swords, which is more that energy that you incorporate as a fire sign that is very very into into community, right? And very into being active. So making a plan, sticking to it. You're the first one to call the restaurant to reserve a table. Others don't even reserve tables at all, right? You're just fucking doing it, stuff like that, right? So you don't want to just go with the flow and maybe there's enough party, maybe you need something more stable, and you're gonna realize that it's okay for you to wanting to be nourishing. But then again, also, you are more nourishing than you think. What you need is someone to go along with your plan or with your way of doing things. So you can not only feel valued, but you can actually go on your star journey, go on like that new beginning, right? So it's both. It's about wanting to be nourishing, accepting that, but also needing to move on and needing someone that is really going with the flow and not just like getting lost in that Four of Wands, wow, this feels so cozy kind of energy. Because there's something within you that is just propelling you out of that situation, right? Because it doesn't feel right anymore. Maybe this side of you that wants to plan, that wants to make decisions, that wants to inspire people to do something specific, right? That wasn't nourished, right? The side of you that wanted to provide, that wanted to nourish, itself wasn't nourished. And that's what you're going for right now, as you're going through all of those ideas around how you want to nourish people, and maybe you can trust a little more that your energy is already giving a lot, but also know that the path you're on is not to feel like you have to go it alone. It's just like, it's your impulse, it's your drive. You have to do it, you're going with it, and it's perfect. And then you just have to believe that it's all according to plan, and that's when you open back up to love again. Also to self-love, right? So the Ace of Cups is not only romantic love, it's also self-love. And since you're going on a rather lonely journey here, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be alone, but it very much feels like a lonely journey to you, like some decisions you make, some things you have to do, focusing on your way, right? And that's what you need to do right here. And then again, realizing that maybe sometimes it's okay to not have a plan, right? And just go with the flow. Sometimes that's good. That's that Seven of Swords right there. Maybe sometimes it's good to not have a plan, but therefore you have to trust that the universe is providing for you. And right now, you need that. Right now you are just using that Ace of Wands energy, that fire energy, to propel you forward.